Hello!
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 It's Friday, everyone. Yeah!
Friday is here.
It's Friday.
Oh.
It's
On
the
to bed, eh?
49th Friday in a
That's right.
row.
How long have we been doing this now?
When did Britain go decimal?
1974, I
Yeah,
guess.
so from May 1974, I think we've been doing it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I was 1, and you were not even...
I was not born.
You weren't even a glint in the milkman's eye.
Well, because if I remember rightly, for the first 6 months of this episode, no, the first 3 years of us doing this, you just in the window with me, and it was just my dad's balls.
Yes, that's...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And a very good job they did too. Cheers to my dad's balls.
And I see you're on the white wine, like you're in the... Like you're in
Soul.
like you're in the old Ibiza town.
Like I'm Alan Wicker on the Ibiza town drinking the Costa del Sol.
I'm on the This is the last of the bottle of red that I've necked before doing this.
Wow.
That's not good, is it?
I've also realised that I was watching that program about Roald Dahl last night.
Right.
I've accidentally worn the same T-shirt he wore when he went into the shop to buy all his gear. I'm quite ashamed. I think I'm going to kill all of the policemen watching.
Did you accidentally buy the same gear as well? Did you go into a nearest hardware store and buy?
What did he buy?
What? Yeah, I don't know what he bought. A pot noodles, some duct tape.
Yeah, probably a knife
and a Luger
and a copy of Beggar Grove, the annual. Wow, the comments are fucking on fire. What's going on in here?
All right, well, let's have the comments.
Let's go. So we've got evening all from everybody. Evening all, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I have missed you all this week. Oh,
thank you, Tim. That's really nice of you. That's a thinly veiled threat somehow.
It does, but it sounds like he's been firing arrows at us.
But I like it.
Yeah. Hola to you.
Hola.
Yeah. Make us funny, laugh.
Right.
Okay. Look, Lenny Henry's here. Katanga, my friends.
Oh, Katanga, my friends. This is KYTV. Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Yeah. Do you have any signed copies of Thunderbook? Yes.
Yeah, he does, but they're all signed by Hulk Hogan. That's the problem.
I thought it was a bit of a coup at the time, but obviously
they do decrease in value.
Lee Van Queef says, "I'm off my tits already."
Well, thank you, Lee. No avatar, Lee. So I find that highly suspicious. As far as I'm concerned, if I don't see a picture, then you are the FBI.
What are you hiding, Lee? Are you going to say, "Come to my house later. We're going to be smoking marijuana"?
Marijuana. I'm going to be smoking joss sticks and investigating sites of pilgrim interest.
Injecting booze. Salt.
Injecting salt directly into my valve.
Leslie Grantham played saxophone. No, he didn't, Andy.
Andy, we're straight off the bat with your
bullshit.
Your Guinness Book of Bullshit Records bullshit.
Your fucking nonsense.
Absolute.
I'm not saying you've been doing this for a while now, but when you started at Shock, I wasn't quansing any Griggs.
Oh, now there's a lovely little air bridge into Wheezing Groaning Pod. And we appreciate that.
We do. We work very hard at that.
Well.
No, we don't.
No, we watched it and we talked bollocks around it.
Now, this is true. Hulk Hogan's real name is Terry Bollea, which is true. And his brother's name is...
El Bollea.
El Bollea. He's a Spanish gangster. And he wears a hat called a Bollea hat. And he works in the city, madam.
You're so proud of that. A Bollea hat.
I'm really pleased about that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
Why, it's a Fabergé egg made by Carl Fabergé. You've certainly done your homework, Bond.
I fucking have.
Well, I read the fucking what was written in front of me. I mean,
It's called a script.
it's called a script, you prick.
No, it isn't, Dwayne. No, it isn't.
No. The Ultimate Warrior's real name is Wayne Kerr. Come along now, Dwayne.
His real name is Ian Ultimate. Everybody knows
Although,
that.
did you notice Dwayne's little avatar pic?
What is it now? Oh, it's
It is-
Terry Wogan's penis.
It is the chub lock that is Terry
Chub
Wogan's
lock.
midriff.
Oh.
The old chub lock. He went missing years ago.
Hulk Hogan got cancelled for saying something racist 15 minutes into a sex tape, which means someone watched a Hulk Hogan sex tape for at least 15 minutes. That's true. And he got uncancelled because they hoped that everyone would forget about it.
Wow.
I
hope that's true.
Yeah, then no, it's what that he got cancelled or that someone watched 15 minutes of him having sex.
A bit of both.
Okay.
Is it all true?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then he sued. Come on, everyone, tell me what website it was. Was it Gawker? Wasn't it Gawker? And he got Gawker shut down because he won about $2 million or something.
Okay, so my next question obviously is, what the fuck is Gawker?
It was a website. Here we go, Gawker.
Right.
Gawker.
Oh, Gawker. Right.
Yeah, I think it was like BuzzFeed. I'm not down with the kids. Sorry, guys. So
the next question, what is BuzzFeed?
BuzzFeed was one of the stalkers and the Running Man.
What is love?
Yes, it was Gawker. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you very much, Katie, for giving us some clarification.
Gawker, thank you.
Oh, everyone seems to fucking know.
Apart from you.
No, I don't. I don't know about anything. I wear that as a badge of honor.
But you don't even know what the badge is.
No, I just don't get involved in all of this.
Oh, you can't.
Who's that supposed to be?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's some sort of mismatch catchphrase that you were trying to establish in a sitcom of your own
My
making.
new catchphrase, yeah.
Oh, you cunt.
Oh, you cunt.
End credits for that. Coming in left and up and down and right hand.
My new series called Are You Being Serious? And it's a sitcom about someone who's running a comedy improv group. But it's like every 70s sitcom character comes to learn how to be a comedian.
Oh,
Mrs. Slocum, whose catchphrase is "Oh, you cunt."
Oh, you cunt.
Mr. Lucas.
Nice.
Yeah.
We take things very seriously here at the Amdram Society.
It's like Grace and Favour, but it's funny.
But it's
Grace and Favour. Bloody hell. Bloody hell.
Is it funnier than You Rang My Lord?
I'll fight anybody who doesn't like You Rang My Lord.
Whoa, we found John's Achilles heel very quickly.
My Lord.
Did you? I thought it was bullshit.
It wasn't as bad as Oh Dr. Beeching.
No. The only thing that was worse by 1% than Oh Dr. Beeching was the Falklands War. But only by 1%.
And that is only if you were on the Belgrano. Captain Freedom is the clunkiest. Oh, is this Running Man? The Running Man. Grace and Fucker.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
I mean, put it in the pitch document. See if any cats lick it.
Grace and Fucker.
Paul's antennae are looking fabulous tonight.
Oh yes, that's the weird candle I have behind me.
That's where you do your rituals.
Does all my pagan ritual rites from Devon.
Oh.
This is where I get all the deals from Trago Mills directly beamed into my head.
Trago Mills has got a question for you.
What? Well, they've got a great deal happening. Get on down to Trago Mills. Liscott, Falmouth, and Newton Abbot. Any news on when you're coming to visit? Oh, is this from Trago Mills itself? That's in the entire company.
And if you EO of Trago Mills.
If you look at the avatar for Trago Mills, that's how they decided to create Winterfell in Game of Thrones. It's pretty much exactly the same layout.
Is it really?
Yeah, exactly the same layout. They took the blueprints of Trago Mills, I think, and don't call me a pissy poo, but I think this might be the less scarred Trago Mills, just on first glance,
Right.
because the Newton Abbot one has a lot more blood on the turret.
Mm,
So yeah, I think they took those blueprints and that became Winterfell.
Well, it sounds like you were doing a bit of winter filling there, Paul. Does anyone like Bovril?
No.
Come on, Dwayne, read the room.
But then I don't know. Do I? Don't I? I mean, I like Marmite.
Isn't it sort of hot Marmite?
No, it's a beef extract drink.
Yeah, but it's basically hot beef.
Yeah, so when is the appropriate time for drinking it?
They have it at football matches, apparently, on cold evenings.
Is that because of the violence? Is that to increase the violence or to quell it?
Oh, no, I think it's just to keep them warm internally. But also, I suppose you could chuck it in some ne'er-do-well's face.
Why wouldn't you have a cup of tea or a coffee? I mean, I don't get a hot beef extract. I suppose it's like a soup.
I suppose so.
It's like a soup for the mad.
Moop.
It's a moop.
It's a moop.
It's a moop. I don't know. I've never drunk Bovril.
No, I've not either. No, not really appealed to me. But apparently, Peter Sutcliffe liked Bovril in a bowl. I'd like him to do an advert. Oh, it's been a tough night this evening. I'd really like some Bovril in a bowl.
And then, just like Mama used to make.
I've made risotto with Bovril.
Well, what? I don't. There's no need to just. Have you? Good.
Bovril is moop. Yes. They drink Bovril in Yeovil.
Yeah, but they drink Bovril in London, so that I don't get what the.
Bovril was the first ever Saigo tie-in, by the way. True, 19th century tie-in to the coming race novel. Vril was a weird life essence in the story.
I didn't understand a fucking slim shit of that comment. I mean, it might be true and amazing, but I don't know. What?
It's hang on. A comment's jumped. It's delicious, hot, salty goodness.
Okay, then do you know what? I probably would like it because I do adore Marmite. Jesus Christ.
Who's Don Brennan?
Okay. I don't know, and I don't want to know.
I mean, yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, if we're talking tales of the unexpected, that is the perfect murder weapon because you can cook it and feed it to the policeman afterwards.
I killed him with me love. More love, officer. Taking another slice.
Bumming the policeman. Oh, yes.
Well, I don't normally eat this much love on a case, Mrs. Murderer. But I will partake. Give me the fatty end. Oh, you cheeky fuck.
Yep. There we go. There's a tale. There's an episode of Tales of the Unexpected. I don't know why I mentioned that.
No, why'd you mention that? That's weird.
I have no idea.
Who knows? Any more comments before we move on to some solid gold?
He meant sci-fi instead of sci-go. But even
that doesn't really clean any of that up.
So you're saying Bovril was the first ever sci-fi tie-in? 19th century. There was a novel called The Coming Race, and Vril was a weird life essence in the story.
Right, I still don't get Vril and the reference to
Bovril.
Oh, I see. Yeah, all right. Well, Bov would have been more of a cleaner canon, but you know.
Bovril is as much Marmite as almond butter is peanut butter. Why are we talking about Bovril? This is an award-winning show. We shouldn't be talking about Bovril.
And tonight's JP special is sponsored by Bovril.
Delicious, salty goodness in a jar. Bovril. I want the
beef extract when you don't need it.
Beef extract when you've extracted your. I don't know where I'm going with that. Tales of the Unexpected leg of lamb. Yeah, that's what I was referencing with the penis.
Yes, the leg of lamb. She invites a policeman round and she cooks him a leg of lamb, and that was the murder weapon.
But in our one, she invites the policeman around, have sex with them,
and then
which would clean the murder weapon.
And she gives birth to innocent.
Well, if you think about it, having sex with the murder weapon is very much like wiping the prints off of it.
She has sex with the murder weapon and the police and gives birth to her own freedom.
To her alibi.
And/or innocence and/or alibi.
Oh.
And the alibis are twins. So
Ali and Bai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weirdly, bi is not bi. It's,
No.
Straight down the line hetero.
Straight as an arrow.
Ali, however, is
straight as an ice arrow. The perfect murder weapon.
Yeah.
How embarrassing would it be though if you fired an ice arrow and it just like bounced off someone?
Ridiculous, wouldn't it?
They'd be like, "Why have you done that?" You'd have to say, "I'm sorry, I was trying to kill you."
I'm sorry.
You'd have to strangle them.
Strangle them with ice gloves.
And then melt your hands. The perfect weapon.
The perfect weapon. The perfect murder. None of this can be solved.
I've always said that the perfect murder weapon is actually you kill someone and then boil them in a Sports Direct mug. And then when the policeman comes around, you get him to drink it. And
Wow.
then he poos out the body and he goes to prison. Bovril, who died this morning? Should we move on to our thing that we want to do?
Oh my God! Yes. Well, what thing shall we do?
Well,
shall we do a super match? Because we got two of them.
Let's do a super match.
Do super match.
After last week, with the Hazel Hurst getting in touch with me and saying that they wanted to promote a local up-and-coming band. That's great. We've done that now. But we're now back onto a public service announcement message. So please pay attention at the end of this. And we'll be going now, live, to a super match game. Say no to Duncan Preston. If you see Duncan Preston, please say no. Terry.
Welcome, one and all, hail and hearty. It's old Tell, back from the afterlife, having a lovely little game of paintball with the old Ronnie C. You can't hit Ronnie C, you see. He's so small, the old pellets just brushed past his wig. Now, Tell's here for another old game of... That's right. Oh, he's got his old chubby fingers over the very title, which is, of course, Super Match. Now, old Tell realizes that over the last few weeks, some of these super matches have been a little bit, and this is old Mrs. Tell's words, esoteric. So today we're going plain and simple. This should be very easy for anyone to do. So we will reveal the legend, Eugene. And then the first one to type in Wogan's Wobbly Wand gets to play Super Match. Are you ready? Let's reveal the legend. Now this should be simple. It's shoe blank.
Actually, sorry, I beg your pardon. The first one was...
That's not... No, that...
Sarah Wills was first. Sarah Wills was first.
Not a woman's wobbly wand. Old Tell nearly got investigated. Read that with the old yew tree. No, this is Sarah Wills, who's correctly assumed by listening to the salient facts that was the words coming out of Wogan's old gob. Wogan's wobbly wand. Now, Sarah, you can get to play tonight, of course, with John, myself, or you can come up with your own answer. Now, first of all, let's go over to John and see what he might be thinking in his little old grey cells. John Judkin, as I live and breathe.
Hi, Terry.
How does thee fare?
Terry, I'm very well, but on the way to the studio today,
yes,
I saw the chef from the BBC canteen.
Good Lord.
Chasing an Alsatian with a butterfly net.
Getting ready for the old soup, I'd imagine.
Probably. Bovril, I'd imagine, which is Bovril's very good.
Silence with the old Bovril, John.
Mm-hmm.
We won't have Bovril here at the Beeb. No. Now listen, the old super match was shoe blank. Now, how can you help Sarah get to 150 blanks and win the old super match game. Now, what have you got for a shoe blank?
Well, Terry, I was a very big fan of trumpets when I was young. So I'm going to go with a shoe horn.
Shoehorn. Do you know what? That was old Tell's answer, you crafty little fuck. Now, Tell's have to come up with one of his own. So shoehorn's been done. So I'm going to go for shoe. Tell you what, nice and simple. Shoe sharp.
Shoe sharp.
So Sarah, listen, you got John's horn, Terry's shop. Oh no, Sarah's gone for one of her own. She's gone for shoe marmalade.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
You know, shoe marmalade.
Oh.
I remember years ago when I was growing up in Donegal, and the old marmalade shoe cart would come out, and the old fellow would be, bring out your marmalade, bring out your shoes, bring out your marmalade, bring out your shoes. And he'd take your old shoes and he'd fill them with marmalade, and you'd go home with a spring in your step, wouldn't you? You really would. You're right there, John Juckins.
Fine, Terry, yes.
You would, yes. But it's just that old, wonderful cry that they used to say on the old streets of Donegal. Shoe marmalade. Bring out the shoe marmalade. Wonderful. Well, it takes old Tell back. But listen, old Tell digresses. It is, of course, shoe blank. Now, let's find out what the most least popular answer was. Now, listen, whatever happens, Sarah, there's no bad will in this game. It's all about giving it all you've got. And I tell you what, I think marmalade might not be the 150 blank, but could well be the 100 blank answer, which means you could win half a glove. And that's great, isn't it? But listen, for 50 blanks, and it was on the tip of all our tongues, it was, of course, Shoe Destiny.
Shoe Destiny, of course.
Shoe Destiny there. So you're not quite there yet, Sarah, but don't worry, you got 2 more chances, and fortune may smile on the unfortunate. And here we go for 100 blanks, and you were so bloody close, and I hate swearing, but you were so close with marmalade. It is, of course, shoe advice. You know, when you go to
the shoe shop,
purchase a new shoe. But the most popular answer, and for a moment there, when I revealed the sticker, I almost saw M-A-R for marmalade.
Wow.
But then, of course, I didn't see that because it wasn't true. It is, in fact, the top answer, shoe buffet. You know, when you have a buffet of shoes.
Shoes, yeah. I mean, if anything, that's a shoe shop, isn't it, Terry?
No, it's that's not really true there. It's a shame, John, when you try and wrong foot the host, because old Tell doesn't have much time to come down from the afterlife to play this pittance of a game. I mean, I'm not on contract. I'm doing this for nothing. Thank God for old Sarah's shoe marmalade. At least Tell can take that back up to heaven and maybe introduce it to his friends like Marty Kane and Jackie Chan, who's just died. And I'll let them know about the old big empty shoes, big empty marmalade. Because that takes old Tell back to when he was knee high to a paedophile. And wonderful stuff. Well, that was Blankety Blank Super Match, but I'll be back later on. And until then, adieu.
And the phone lines are open, so if you'd like to ring in.
Thank God. Are we still on?
0898 50 50 50.
Good. And where does all this money go to, John? 87
It goes to Clowns in Need.
Right.
Brackets of shooting.
Well, that was a very tense super match,
wasn't it? It was like 15-1.
Yeah, it was what, with William G. Stewart?
Oh yeah.
You know, William G. Stewart wrote the first ever James Bond adventures on radio.
I did. He was also the producer on Sid James' Bless This House.
I was going to say, nothing gets past you, does it, with your James Bond?
Oh,
You know
no.
everything, don't you?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
007. There you go. There's one for you.
Well, it's 00 Heaven.
Double
What was
O.
that? Which one was that the tagline to? It's 00 Heaven?
I think
It's
it's
obviously a Roger Moore.
I
It
think that might be a
reeks of
Sean.
Roger Moore. I'm sure it's that is 00 Heaven.
My mind instantly went You Only Live Twice, but I might be wrong.
Oh, really?
Correct me in the comments while I pour this wine. Na, 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 na. Lovely.
Na, na, na.
There's a cigar called Hamlet. Organic wine tonight, lads. Like organic Pinot Grigio.
Yeah. So clearly during the lockdown and the furloughing, money seems to have money. So John seems to have money to fucking burn. Organic wine?
Firing out of the old penis.
Where'd you get that? Fucking Waitrose by the sea.
Tesco, I think.
Oh, Tesco.
Though other supermarkets aren't as good. That's why I'd definitely say if I was on BBC, I'd go, I bought it in Tesco. Though I should say other supermarkets aren't as good.
Tesco should really say every lack of option helps because they are literally on every street corner, aren't they?
Well, it should say as well, you're here now, you're not going anywhere, just spend your money. Doesn't matter about deals. Where are you going to go?
Oh, you're frozen.
No, you are. Oh, this happened earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Paul lost his internet, and it looks like it's happened again. It's happened again. So while we're waiting for Paul to come back, let's have a look in the comments, shall we? How did your haircut go, guys? I got my haircut. Paul got his done as well. It was very exciting. And if you've had your haircut, you may have noticed that they're all wearing these little Tron shields, and you have to be in these little plastic cases. It was like being in the Matrix. Let's take Paul out. No one needs to see Paul looking sad. It's just me now. William G. Stewart never seemed excited to be on 15-1. Well, would you? If you were William G. Stewart, would you be excited? The best Bond opening sequence. I like The Living Daylights a lot. Yeah. Paul can't pay his 87 pence, but if you do want to ring in, please have a go. Your hair looks like Bernard Breslau's and Kroll. He was also a Cyclops. Are you a Cyclops? He was sadly died, didn't he, when he was trying to hold that door open for everybody. He sacrificed himself in many ways, as he did in the Carry On films, in a metaphorical sense. Always had thankless roles in the Carry Ons, old Bernard. He never really shone. He always played assistant to a pervert or a pervert. Casa Roscoili, organic Pinot Grigio. Oh, God, fucking hell, Tim. £6 my wine cost. Tim is a spy for perverts. 00 Heaven was ITV's tagline when they first showed Bond films back in 1999. I'm pretty sure it was on a poster, though, as well. I don't think that was a first. Bernard Bresslaw died choking on a cheese ball. No, he didn't. How about we have some questions while we wait for Paul to resurface? This happened when we were waiting to come into the stream, and he had to turn his router off, so he was a couple of minutes. No, Paul was a human statue. He's now been removed from town and thrown into the harbour by protesters. And he is back!
What happened? What's going on?
Your internet exploded again.
Yeah, I'm having internet problems, which is weird because I've never had them before. I've never had this problem before, Mrs. I'm very sorry I took up your time.
That's all right. But you've had your haircut as well.
Yeah, we both had a haircut.
Not at the same time.
You had yours on a Monday.
Yes, Monday morning.
Did you take your hairdresser for a drink on Tuesday?
Oh,
Were you making love on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday you're thinking you've done a shit job?
He's under the table now.
Dirty fella. Okay,
I said just the highlights. Have you frozen again? Yeah, you have. I thought he was disapproving of my comment, but no, he's frozen again. Oh, he's having problems, isn't he? We've got some questions in here though, so luckily we can answer these while we wait. Best Bond poster again. I would say The Living Daylights. I really like the it's the gun barrel, all the action happening around it. That's very good. Did you enjoy writing Thunderbook? No, I mean I did, but it was very difficult and hard and tough, and I'm trying to get back into writing another one at the moment, which is just as difficult and tough. Would you rather be Dan Thomas, everybody? Hooray! Would you rather be a pervert or an assistant to a pervert? It depends. If there is legal action, I'd be neither. Oh, I don't know. You're asking if I'd like to be Bernard Bresslaw? Maybe. Or Sid James. Depends. How do you know Kathy Burke? Twitter. Just met through Twitter. She retweeted me a lot, and we met that way. She's very nice. Bernard, oh, hang on. It's very funny, John. Loved it. Thank you. Thank you very much. The James Bond Jr. cartoon, any good? No, it's not. It was a way for them to hold on to the rights for a while. And it's terrible. Maybe Paul has got that thing that Craig Charles had when his face got frozen, Bell's palsy. Fun fact, I had Bell's palsy when I was 13. It was horrible. And a friend of mine's got it at the moment, and it's miserable. I feel sorry for him. He's doing like a daily video blog thing about it. Bless him. Didn't have that when I was 13. John only bums his barb on a Wednesday. That's true. That is true. Who is the best Felix? I like David Hedison from Live and Let Die and License to Kill. Mainly because he loses his legs. He's the only Felix to lose his legs. It's a very exciting fact. Good pub quiz question there. If they ever say in a pub quiz, which Felix lost his legs? The answer is, of course, David Hedison. Because that man from the war wasn't. Douglas Bader wasn't available. Moonraker with Sanjeev Kohli was brilliant. Get him on again. I'd love to have him on again. He's very funny. We spent most of the time talking about everything but Moonraker, but it was lots of fun. Daniel Craig is a terrible Bond, yes or no? No, I think he's a great Bond. I think his films aren't very good. I think it's a shame. Puffins make great books. The sun melted the glue in my Thunderbook. Some pages fell out. Sorry about that. It wasn't my fault, though. Have you ever been... Oh, hang on. There was a question there. It jumped away. Have you ever been to any Bond locations? I was all over them when they first visited New Orleans. Yes, I've been to where they filmed the mine sequence in View to a Kill. Oh, he's back.
I don't know what's going on here.
What is going on?
I don't know, but it's very annoying.
It is.
It might happen 100 more times, and if it does, I'm really fucking sorry, everyone. I normally never have problems with my internet, so I don't know what's going on.
I think that we'll just play it by ear and see what happens.
Play it by ear, and this might be your solo show to shine, John.
Might be.
You could literally, this could be your moment.
Wogan's wobbly Wi-Fi.
Now, I've now moved position because I think that being within 1 foot of the router somehow helps, which means I've left all my paraphernalia 2 foot away. So can you fill in for 2 foot?
Yeah, are you off now?
Yeah.
While Paul disappears, I'll go to some more questions. There was a couple of more here. Would Anton or Deck make a better Bond? No, they wouldn't. I suppose in conjunction they'd make an interesting Bond because you've got one who's quite smooth and interesting, and the other one's who's a hopeless drunk who crashes his car a lot. So that's quite Bond. Shipman or West? I am a big believer in sending Harold Shipman and Fred West, even though they're dead now, to space to see what happens. I think we should send evil people to places where we don't know what happens to the human body to see what happens. I know that's kind of capital punishment, but hey ho. He's back.
I'm back, and I'm really sorry, everyone. But I appear to have Friday night internet here in London. Because, you know, in London, we only have one internet router, and there's 9 million people, so it's quite hard to get a balanced connection.
Yeah. So while you're here, should we do our thing?
Yes. What thing would you like to do?
Well, I thought we'd do some tales.
Yes. Now, we should explain, because have you already explained, by the way?
I have not.
Okay, so John and I were desperate once the lockdown was easing to get remotely within 2 inches of each other. And we decided that we were going to go and visit the Roald Dahl estate. And you can actually tour the house, which we weren't remotely interested in. We were more interested in that little shed that he has. And that wonderful shed where I believe, John, you think he spent most of his time frantically masturbating.
Yes, I think there's no doubt about that. But
Yeah.
yes.
But when he wasn't putting his own glaze of James on his own giant peach, he was writing. And not only did he write for children, but he also used to write for adults. He used to write a show called Tales of the Unexpected. And I was, because there's a little bit of rope hop, you can't get too close, and you don't want to get too close because of the smell. But there was a bit where John said, have a little rifle around in his personal effects. And I said, come on, Mr. Rain, almost like Basil Brush. I was quite distressed by your urgency. So John nipped out by the door and kept a lookout. Luckily, we were social distancing, so the next person in the queue was 2 miles away. So John took lookout, and I managed to have a little rifle very quickly. We didn't have much time, and found some of Roald Dahl's ideas for Tales of the Unexpected. Now, Tales of the Unexpected was a TV series that ran in the mid until it finished. And they were adult stories, weren't they, John? Is that right?
Oh, yeah, very much so, yeah.
Yeah, the most famous, of course, which we mentioned earlier, was the Leg of Lamb. And we found a bunch of ideas that Roald Dahl had written.
Yeah.
Obviously, had either, for whatever reasons, never made it to broadcast, or they petered out, or he was too busy wanking. So we thought we would just give a little gentle synopsis. Well, not even a synopsis. These are just verbatim the words that Roald Dahl wrote with some of his Tales of Unexpected. So shall we do that?
Paul, you go first.
Okay, here we go. So this is the first one I found. Robert Frog, that was his name, but it's 2 G's, so that's sort of interesting. Robert Frog treats his wife to a luxury cruise around the Caribbean for his wife's birthday. They are booked on the HMS Discovery Queen. But when they arrive at the port, the ship has been changed. They are now spending 2 weeks on board the HMS Great Fire of London Hitler Ghost. What an unexpected tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reminded yesterday of, this is called The Cat by Roald Dahl.
Okay.
I'll do it in his voice. I was reminded yesterday of the time I was taking a walk on the heath on a Saturday. I came upon a cat, a very curious cat indeed, for on closer inspection, that cat was Terry Nutkins.
Wow. Once upon a time, there was a man, and he was never seen again.
Wow, that was a really mysterious, unexplained tale.
Really unexplained.
This one's called War and Peace. When Staff Lieutenant Colonel Dimbleby awoke one morning, he noticed something rather peculiar. Instead of having the resplendent moustache of a high-ranking British official, he now instead had the face of a Nazi bee.
You see, that's the thing with Dahl, isn't he? He takes you down one road and then whoosh, immediately talks balls. Okay. Yeah. So this is another one from Dahl's little treasure chest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Listen carefully. A Swiss minimalist architect and pioneer of the simple clutter-free lifestyle movement spends his days in his cubist open-plan empty dream home until the day where he accidentally prints the entire internet and is arrested and shot for hoarding. I like the fact that it cut out with you just going.
Just being shot for hoarding, but then that's a tale of the unexpected.
Well, listen, that's what the Swiss do. They will shoot you for hoarding.
No, well, don't ever go there, ladies and gentlemen.
They are notoriously very sort of open and yeah, whatever, man. They're very 60s, the Swiss, except hoarding.
Well, this story, Paul, is called The Secret.
Ah.
I'll do it again in the style of Dahl.
Okay.
Being obstinate may not be the way to get on in life. But if one were to be obstinate and a well-paid accountant, well, that's a different matter. Especially if you are a heavily armed crab.
You see, that's the thing with Dahl. He leads you by the hand very gently in one way, and you think, I know what's coming. And then heavily armed crab.
Heavily armed crab.
Okay, well, here we go. This one is, fucking hell, this should have been made, Roald, but here we go. On Saturday night, metal detector enthusiast Ronald Shit discovers that he's won the Euro Millions jackpot. Wow. The next day, he celebrates by taking his metal detector out on the nearby hill, as he always would do. He soon discovers a Roman mosaic buried deep under the ground. But his excitement turns to horror when he discovers an ancient mosaic of himself being beheaded by a giant lottery check.
I mean, I didn't see that coming.
Nobody could see that coming.
Nobody could see that coming.
Hell. Least of all, Ronald.
Least of all, Ronald. This one is called The Rich Set.
Wow. Now that sounds like umami. That sounds like just my sort of thing.
Well, listen in. Again in the style of Roald. They say that 1% of the world owns 44% of the world's wealth. But what if 99% of the world were surfing laser vampires?
Now you see, again, I believe Surfing Laser Vampires was the working title for Brushstrokes.
That's right.
Now, okay, I got one more from me, and this, I have to say, I really wish this one was made.
Okay.
Sandra Lucky, and there's a clue here, Lucky. Well, she's always been lucky, just like her mum and her grandmother. It's your surname, says all her friends. Look just seems to follow you around. You're lucky, Sandra. You're lucky. And I tell you what, she's getting married tomorrow morning. What will life have in store for her in the future when she changes her maiden name to Sandra Murdered by a Cow?
I mean, Jesus, I did not see that coming.
Nobody saw that coming.
Murdered by a cow.
Murdered by a cow.
Jesus, I mean that's one of those sort of
Oh, that's a surname. I mean,
it's one of those life lessons that Dahl would hand out. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
This is the last one from me that I found. This is called Bottled for Love. Again in the style of Dahl. When is a murder not a murder? Or indeed a crime? Not a crime. Can one be truly innocent when taking a life? In this story, a rich woman finds out too late that her husband-to-be is a packet of crisps. I mean, he's just the master, isn't he?
He just knows how to just deliver that little nub of. Yeah, wow! I'm so glad we found them.
Me too.
That was a nice day we had, actually, wasn't it? On the road,
absolutely lovely. Although the carpet was very sticky.
It was a bit matted, wasn't it?
A bit matted.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get this in the postcode lottery. Yeah.
Well, when we went to the gift shop, I just said, "Is your carpet coated in tapioca?" And she went, "No."
I said, "Well,
yeah." I said, "Well, what is it?" And she went, "Well, take it from me." She said the last person who sat on the carpet was pregnant for a month. So I don't quite know what that meant, but there you go. We should probably go to some comments now, because I mean,
I'm trying to go through. There's 74 of them.
Good God! 74. Well, I'll tell you what. Only read 73.
Okay. First one we got Dwayne saying Bobby Frog.
Bobby Frog.
One of your character names. You know what would be unexpected if you went into his shed and he was actually writing in there.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I did the dance. Thank you, Diane. We all did.
Well, we all did the dance. You have to do the dance.
You have to. You know what when the baby became a bee, I expected that.
Really? What? Do you think that was trad?
You better not come on my cat.
No, who would?
Terry Nutkins, and he had seven severed fingers.
Severed fingers?
Yeah, that's the name of my Japanese fighting
Terry
film.
Nutkins said that used to be the vocal warm-up I used to do before going on stage. 7 severed fingers Terry Nutkins had.
Yeah, get rid of this thing. It's annoying.
Are you getting rid of your
Yeah, it's running out of battery. It's running out of battery.
Your light ring. You're so Hollywood.
Waste of time that was. He fried his own fingers and ate them. The next day they grew back and he had the same again. This is also talking about Terry Nutkins, Nazi bees. Very good.
I don't mind if we get into niche Nutkins chat, because I find that quite fascinating.
What do you mean in terms
Nutkins? Of? Yeah, just Nutkins based.
Let's get Nutkins
into the psyche of Nutkins.
Let's get Nutkins deep.
Into our Nutkins.
Oh yeah. Here we go. That must be the surfing Nazis. Sorry, I'm working my way through the comments, everybody. Oh, sorry, laser vampires. Sorry. Yeah. Is this weird? Wow, I did not expect that. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I'm working my way through them. Last week, you asked how Joey Deacon. Sorry.
You're gone.
Last week, you asked how Joey Deacon died, and no one answered sensibly. So this week, I did some digging. As a result, I am now banned from the cemeteries in Hampshire. Tim.
That Tim is exactly like a Richard Stilgo chat just before commercial break during Countdown in the late 80s.
Just before you go, I just thought I'd point out that the word motherfucker is also Paraguayan for funny goat.
And it's also something my agent says to me after every phone call. All the best, Richard Stilgo.
Oh, why do you leave the lid off the toothpaste when I go to brush my teeth? He used to do a show called Finders Keepers.
He did. I remember Finders Keepers.
My fact about Richard Stilgoe is he taught me how to put my tie. He had a song about the rabbit and the hole about how to do your tie.
Oh, right. And did he take you to the woods to sing that song just to you?
He took me to the woods to show me his cock, and it was a very good cock indeed.
And I tied it into my arsehole, and we were friends forever.
Stilgoe is alive, and he could sue us.
Well, he'd do it via comic song, and that wouldn't stand up in court.
Or Comic Sans. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't.
More comments, and I have to replenish my glass. Look, I'm empty.
Terry Nutkins was bitten by an otter. Terry Nutkins was bitten by 2 otters.
Not Tarka the otter. Tarka wouldn't have done that.
No. When he ejaculates, Terry Nutkins shouts, "Terry Nutkins is nutting now."
No, that's disgusting.
That is what
I'm going to make a drink. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Terry Nutkins is nutting now is what Johnny Morris used to say when he said he was going to leave Animal Magic. See, Paul's gone to get a drink. I'm drunk. Jesus Christ. This is good wine. I'm not really a wine drinker. This is a fun fact, is that I only started drinking wine because of this show. And I'm enjoying it. And it gets me drunk very quickly, as I'm sure all of you have noticed. God, here we go. John, they're all awful. Which U-Tree style revelation upset you the most? Thinking that person was all right, but now you can only think of them as a nonce. I think they're all pretty... I don't know. I mean, I would say Rolf Harris, but I never really liked Rolf Harris. I enjoyed his shows, but it wasn't him I enjoyed. It was when he did Cartoon Time. I enjoyed the drawings he did. When he did Cartoon Club, I more enjoyed the stuff other kids were doing. So, Rick Mayall's reading of George's Mouth of Medicine is the greatest ever, Jack and Ori. No argument from here. It was amazing. And look, someone's back.
Hello. I've got a gin.
What have you got there? Tonic. What's that?
A gin and a tonic hand.
Is it a fizzy water?
No, it's a gin and a tonic hand.
Is it a fizzy water?
No, it's a gin and a tonic hand.
Can someone please make a t-shirt that just says, "Is it a fizzy water?" I want to get into the lucrative merchandising market of Peter Kay.
But hang on, you're already in the merchandise market.
Yeah, well, I don't make any money off that.
Yeah, but you must. Yeah,
no, I don't.
Your Smash Pod condom.
Well, it's not through me. It's through Great Big Owl. I don't see anything of it.
You don't see a slim shit of that?
No, that's the second time you said slim shit.
Fucking Great Big Owl are just siphoning money.
Great Big Owl are this empire of pods now.
Wow. Just sitting on a massive golden egg.
They're like that dragon from The Hobbit, except not voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch. Sitting on their gold.
Jesus.
I was the very first podcast they had. I was the...
Were you?
Pig. Yeah. Smash Pod.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Great Big
Owl. Yeah. Oh. They needed an established podcast to launch it with. Excuse me.
And yet they chose you. That's brilliant.
Dan's here. Merch idea. Vend des Smash Pod.
What's that?
I think he means like white wine of Smash Pod.
Do you know what?
Merchandising idea. Yeah.
That could work.
I'm glad you're watching, Dan. It's nice that you're out there.
Yeah.
It's nice to know we're hitting Wales as well as England. The Great Big Owl own the copyright to Smash Pod? I don't know. Maybe. No idea.
Do you have a tattoo somewhere on your body that just says Great Big Owl?
Yeah, it's on my foot. On my foot it says this is a Great Big Owl body.
Is there a barcode that's printed on the back of your neck, and whenever you get a bit tetchy, it gets scanned and you immediately go to sleep? Like
how you tell if someone's a bishop. Congratulations on getting through 3 hours of the 2 doctors. Fucking hell, that was hard. I work with a lighting man who works on Phoenix Nights. Kay is apparently an utter control freak who would adjust all the lights and make them so bright they spend hours in edit to fix it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I haven't heard a nice story about Peter Kay. Let's put it that way. But you know,
no one has, and that's his allure.
Oh yeah. Oh, talking of allure, yeah. Why not?
Smash Pod.
Why not?
Imagine, and it can play all-time high while you're using it.
I mean, you could have a Smurfball flashlight, and they could say on it for people who love wanking, hate it, or just aren't asked about it.
But a Smurfball flashlight that
Please,
plays all time
Richard
high while you're
Trago.
using it. And then you could set the speed according to the music. So you could set it to. And if you were in a rush, we'll take all this gone before, doing so much more. I'm finished.
Well, that's how you get the disco version of Moonraker and the normal version, isn't it?
Where are you?
Yeah, I have as well. Not nice.
Right,
I tell you what. Let's cut the cheese. No, that's not nice. Let's finish this and play a nice game of. Please, can you tell me who the fuck is that? Yeah.
It's good to talk.
Ill with our lucrative BT contract that is paying
I'm
us.
so looking forward to this.
Oh, good.
Because I'm going to get every single one.
Oh, great. That's good.
Or
okay, well.
every single none.
Okay.
So either way.
Well, as usual, the system is Paul first, then the commenters, our friends. So, Paul, this is for you. Please, can you tell me who the fuck is that?
Okay. Well, does he want to be Benedict Cumberswatch?
You got it straight away. You got it straight away. That is Benedict Cumberbatch.
He's wearing a scarf and a coat.
It could be David Carradine. It could be wanking in a cupboard.
It could be Neo if he didn't take the red pill or the blue pill, but just had a nice cup of Darjeeling tea.
I'd like a nice cup of Darjeeling.
Right. Nice cup of tea, Nurse.
Our friends in the comments, please can you tell me who the fuck is this?
Oh, that's obvious.
You think?
No.
Let's see what they say.
No, it doesn't.
Because I tell you what, the week that Dan did this when you were away, I flummoxed Dan and the commenters about 3 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's obvious. That's fucking RuPaul.
I think this one's going to flummox everyone. Excuse me.
Okay, well, I'll let.
Oh shit! Someone's got it. Someone's got
it immediately.
Yeah, it is Colin Firth.
Colin Firth is not.
I know.
Colin
There's not Colin Firth in any way,
it's
shape,
more
or form.
Colin Sandwich than fucking Colin's Firth. Jesus.
All right, so Paul, this is for you.
Yes.
Please, can you tell me who the fuck is this?
I will. Well, that's Gwyneth Paltrow.
It is not.
Oh, J.K. Rowling.
It is not.
Okay. Is it Lynn Folds Wood?
It is not, and she doesn't.
Okay. You're so proud of that. Well, if it's not Gwyneth Paltrow, is it Jane Asher?
No. Oh, someone's got it. Someone's got it.
Fuck off, I don't know then.
It is Jane Horrocks.
What?
Yeah. I mean, someone got it. So, I mean, I agree. What? But someone got there. So, okay.
Enough.
Okay. Commenters, friends, Romans, not Romans, I think British people, countrymen. Lend me your eyes and tell me who the fuck is this? While I pour some wine. Pouring
the wine, organic wine, honey to burn. Peruvian pampa, played
Okay. Greg Evigan has got it. It is Bob Hoskins, of course. That is Bob Hoskins. I mean, who else could it possibly
be? Bob Hoskins.
Okay, Paul. Please, can you tell me? You'll never. I tell you what. If you get this, I will mail you £5.
Oh, that's good. I could do with the cash, so that's good. Go on.
Who the fuck's that? Oh, let me remove that comment. There we go. Who's that?
I mean, that is literally Monty Python's Sir not appearing in this film. I don't. It's no one. Doesn't even have any recognizable features.
Okay, two people in the comments. Actually, 4 people in the comments have got it. Fucking hell, 5.
Is he supposed to be Hugh Jackman?
No.
All right. Is he supposed to be Seth, whatever he is?
No, fucking hell. 8 people have got it. This is
Oh,
ridiculous.
so everyone's got this. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't got a fucking clue.
This is ridiculous. I don't know how you've all got this because I looked at this and thought, who the fuck? Okay. It is Hugh Laurie.
No, it isn't.
It isn't, is it?
No, it isn't. No,
It isn't.
No.
But everyone says it's Hugh Laurie, so maybe I just don't recognise Hugh Laurie anymore.
I've walked on beaches in Devon and seen dogs curl at a turd on a conch that look more like Hugh Laurie than
I mean,
that.
I would say that looks
human
more like
being.
Hugh Jackman than Hugh Laurie.
I said Hugh Jackman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, so one for our friends in the comments. Please, can you tell me who the fuck is on this?
Oh, well, I know who that is immediately.
I think this is one quite easy as well, but I think it's more than. I think the chest is doing more work than the face, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, no, the hairstyle's pretty good.
So who's the first person to get this one?
Oh, it's obvious.
No, it's not Jason Donovan.
No, but the J's right.
It's not Jason Donovan.
No.
Okay, Matt Crow, Law. I'm guessing you mean
Jude Law.
Jude Law. Jude Law. Yeah.
He does look a bit like Jude Law.
He does. He's all right. Right, Paul. You will get a shiny sixpence.
Sixpence in your turkey this Halloween.
If you tell me who the fuck this is. Right, I'm laying down a challenge now. If the comments get this as well, I'll be fucking amazed. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I can't send you all money, but
that doesn't look like anyone remember. Is that supposed to be Liam Neeson?
No, it's not Craig Fairbrass. It's not someone had it. Someone said Shaking Stevens. No, it's not Alfred Molina either. No.
Oh, Alfred Molina was actually a good shot.
Not Ray Romano. It's not Shaking Stevens. Not Nathan Fillion. No, keep guessing.
Oh yeah,
I don't think anyone's going to get this because it's so.
No, we're going to get this. It's the Italian crooner.
No,
it's not.
No.
Wow. I mean, he looks like nobody's mother.
Not Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson. No, I have no idea because that's not anyone discernible.
Okay, so Paul's saying no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anybody else?
No one, but no one's got
Stallone.
it.
No, it's not Stallone.
Stallone.
David Banks. I think that is. Right, it's not Jaws off Bond. It's not Joey off Friends.
Jaws
that
off
weird
Bond.
fuck who hosted Eurovision in Italy. No. Right, this is good. No one's got it. No one's got it. I've beat you all.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Okay, ready.
You are very much the Drax to our Bond.
I am. Ready, everybody? This is going to blow your fucking socks off. I will tell you who the fuck that is.
It is, of course, Hilary Swank.
It might as well be. Ladies and gentlemen, and Paul, this is Stephen Fry.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay.
That's Stephen Fry.
Right. John, sometimes you make a mockery of this.
I'm not doing it.
Sometimes you make... No, sometimes you treat us like detritus and you... It's like... I'm quite upset about it.
Yeah,
it's not
fuck off,
fucking
right.
Stephen Fry.
Fuck off. Yeah, quite right. If you go to the Susan Scott lookalike agency website and type in Stephen Fry, you will find that gentleman. Stephen Fried, I agree. Yeah. Right, so next, for our friends in the comments, please can you tell me who the fuck's this?
Oh, okay. Well, I have a feeling.
Mm-hmm. I think they'll get this quickly. Fun. Yes, it is Greg Wallace.
And he's got a lovely glass full of salad.
And he's saying, I look nothing like Greg Wallace.
And he's like, cool, lovely, a bit of quinoa. Whoa, I like the fuck that.
Lovely battery by fly.
I was watching a bit of Celebrity MasterChef earlier, and when he likes a dish, he immediately wants to put his penis in it. Cool, lovely butter beans. Whoa!
I mean, that would explain why he's been married so many times.
He was a greengrocer as a lad, wasn't he? Oh, Greg Wallace, greengrocer.
Okay.
And I believe he might have been done for GBH.
I couldn't say. But Paul, the last one's for you.
Okay.
I think that this one you will get quite quickly.
All right.
But I would like us to imagine where this lookalike would get work.
Okay.
I'm thinking children's parties.
Okay.
Bar mitzvahs.
Yeah. I'm going to say Borstal even before it's turned up.
Here we go.
Oh, wow. That's Queen Victoria.
It's Queen Victoria.
But that's
We
not
think.
a looky-likey. That's
No.
what does my dress look like?
Yeah.
I mean,
If there was a close-up of this lady, I would imagine that she doesn't look like Queen Victoria. But that's just a hunch.
you could have a dead dwarf wrapped in plastic, but then with an Elvis.
Vicky.
Right.
Everyone's getting a bit familiar with Queen Victoria. Vicky.
You don't call her Vicky. Not
Vicky.
with me.
Queen Vic. You would call her Queen Victoria.
Queen Victoria invented Vicks Vapor Rub. Of course.
She certainly did, yeah.
She used to rub it all over Albert.
No wonder he got it pierced. Who died 120 years ago?
I can tell you a genuine fact about Prince Albert.
Go on.
Well, back when Queen Victoria was reigning, they introduced something called the window tax, which is why when you go around London, and not just London, a lot of areas, you'll see bricked out windows, and that was people's way of avoiding paying as much tax. They boarded up their windows. And Prince Albert designed Alexandra Palace, which is entirely made out of windows, which is essentially telling the government at the time, fuck you, tax that.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And, as they used to say in Action Force cartoons, and knowing is half the battle. There you go.
It is, yeah.
Prince Albert insisted on his name being pronounced like almond. I don't think that's true.
It might be true.
And Albert rubbed Bovril all over Vicky.
Oh, beef extract all over the Queen.
I don't want to go the beef area. It's just going to lead to disgusting talking. Window tax was Regency. Albert designed fuck all.
Oh, all right, Diane.
Is this a fight with you and Diane?
No, I'll just accept what Diane is telling as actual solid fact. I mean, what I tend to do is talk balls.
Window tax was a pain.
I like the fact that it had to be explained in brackets.
I like this. Bovril of Evidence. That would be the great remake of the Madonna film with
Bovril of Evidence.
Sam Fox, and instead of Willem Dafoe, it's Michael Elphick. Yeah, I'm here to protect you.
With a very late appearance by John Le Mesurier.
Shit.
There
you go. Woof.
Woof.
You'd see them having off, and you go, woof.
I say, would you mind awfully woof?
Queen Vicky played bass in Ian Brady's band Terry Nutkin's Seven Polished Nails. No, he didn't, Dwayne.
Yeah, I see. Again, these comments might be very delicately tiptoeing into the realm of fact.
They might be. We'll never know. That's the thing. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Do it again.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that maybe it's time for a sensual moment of caring.
Really? Oh, okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, we can do that.
Okay.
I'd like to take this opportunity, if I may, to recount the sad story of someone who is a much beloved presence here on the JP special, and that is, of course, Mark Whiston. Mark Terence Avalanche Whiston was born on April Fool's Day in a passport booth in a racist branch of Woolworths just outside the Ring Road near Scunthorpe in the year 1951. His mother, Vera, was a part-time alcoholic with a wooden leg but a real foot, and his father, Alfred, was an Alfred Mosley strippogram, mainly working on the sadly declining oil rig circuit. Life was tough for Mark, growing up in a bed sit above a knocking shop with just his mother and the rats for company. Vera, his mother, now a full-time heavy drinker, would spend her days half cut, perched on the radiator, sucking the alcohol out of stolen beer mats whilst whittling out a suicide note on the kneecap of her wooden leg. In 1953, she sold her own shadow on the black market for half a crate of milk stout. Sometimes little Mark would just stare out of the window, humming the theme tune to Dixon of Dock Green, and then realise they were too poor to actually afford windows and had to make do with a poorly framed photograph of the neighbour's net curtains. When he was 5, news was sent that his father, Alfred, had drowned in the North Sea whilst trying to retrieve a fascist lithograph from an overhanging outlet pipe. He couldn't even afford a burial at sea, and instead he had to be buried in midair. His mother, now a widow, drank 2 bottles of cooking sherry every day just to numb out the pain of the loss of her late husband. One morning, whilst Mark had been told to bolt up to the Brecon Beacons to grab a bag of broken biscuits, his mother took her own life by swallowing a pocket-sized 4th edition of the A to Z. And as a result, the council just couldn't fucking decide where she actually wanted to be buried. She was eventually cremated, her ashes scattered behind the bins of the local brewery, which were eventually cleaned up and put directly into the bin, which were then emptied behind the back of the local brewery. Mark was now an orphan, and with no other living kin, was shipped off to an orphanage in the Outer Hebrides with half a crown and a paper bag full of stolen crab apples to his name. With no money to afford the fare for the train, he was forced to walk to Scotland. On his way, he accepted a lift from a passing steamroller, which, to his disdain, flattened his crab apples. Life in the orphanage was brutal, and Mark learned quickly to cry silently during the daily beatings in between prayer and cockfighting. He also learnt how to say Max Bygraves likes the company of Asian sailors in Latin, but that was no real consolation. His only friend was an injured sparrow that he nursed back to health after it had collided with a passing sewage truck. And after months of diligently feeding that little chick in secret with tiny amounts of food, that bird grew up eventually to be healthy and to be strong. And Mark realized that he had to set that bird free. And on the day of its release, it flew out of the window just before shitting in Mark's eye and giving him diphtheria. Mark was transferred to an unlocal hospital where he spent the next 4 years convalescing while simultaneously being used as a guinea pig for disease prevention in the field of tropical medicines. He was introduced to a whole host of pathogens, viruses, and diseases, to the point where, in his delirium, he once spent an entire summer thinking he was the King of Wednesdays. He escaped one evening after hiding inside a novelty giant cake in the shape of a giant crying golden eagle, which of course was being sent to the American embassy in London to commiserate the assassination of JFK. Open brackets, boo-hoo, close brackets. After his escape, the young Mark spent his formative years working in a tanning factory in East London, making watered-down tanning lotion and sunblock for the 1960s jet set, and soon befriended a local kindly-owed homeless man, a man that was affectionately known around the streets as Pig-Faced Bill, who took him under his wing and gently introduced him to meths, petty crime, and dogging. Mark eventually found his way into Jersey in the year of 1977, and that autumn he met his future wife Edith. She, an albino bisexual lobster pot maker, and he, a penniless vagrant living on his wits. They married the following year, but alas, she died on the very first day of their honeymoon after being stabbed to death in a bar brawl in Paris by a drunk mime artist with a hair lip and a stolen machete. Mark returned to London and fell into a series of meaningless jobs and relationships until finally he won a spot the ball competition in the local newspaper. And on that day, when the check arrived, Mark finally, for the first time in his pitiful life, considered turning it around and living. Alas, a freak gust of wind blew the check right out of his hand and was actually grabbed by a passing grey squirrel. Mark cursed his life and searched all day for the missing check, but found nothing. The next day, Mark, forlornly, naked, grey, looked out of his kitchen window onto the garden. Everything was the same, except for a solid gold tree. Mark left London, vowing never to return, and spent the next few chapters of his life living and working very much alone as a lockkeeper on the Manchester to Shipton Canal. Except he did return to London once more in 1986, where he'd been invited to be a contestant on a BBC TV show called Blankety Blank. He lost out eventually on never got to the Supermatch round and lost to a fellow contestant called Leslie Decker, whose question garnered 5 out of 6 matches with the Celebrity Turns, all except, of course, for Rula Lenska, who instead of opting for the winning answer of rolling pin, instead wrote down the baffling word poltergeist. Now, not much is known about Mark after the broadcast. He was spotted working in a kibbutz in Israel in the 1990s, growing illegal star anise. But he does show up once more, again, on the BBC. In fact, in the 2016 comic relief, he's just in the background, sat in a wheelchair, casually spooning a Muller Corner yogurt into his mouth behind Martin Clunes, who's doing a live report about the health benefits of Zumba. Is Mark Whiston still alive? We refuse to know. All we have is his picture of a blankety blank checkbook and pen. And perhaps for now, that's just enough. This song goes out to the enigma that is Mark Whiston.
Oh,
well, that was very moving.
That was so moving. That was beautiful. I didn't know what to say. I had to leave because I was crying.
I think at the same time I didn't really know what to write. So, yeah, Mark will always be an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a who gives a fuck. But for that, yeah, we all love him dearly.
We do.
I mean, there's a
and if you're watching, Mark, please come home.
Please come home, because your parents very much are dead.
You could probably have told him a bit nicer than that, but yeah, they're dead.
Well, I think Mark has already, he's pretty much seen the hard knocks of life, and I think if he is still around, I don't know how old he would be to this day.
You're old.
Probably
Mum and
83
Dad,
years young.
Bran bread, me old son.
Do you think?
Bran, oh yeah. I'd like to think that Mark gave them that checkbook and pen as a sign of, I want your approval. And I'd like to think that his dad threw it away.
Really?
Hmm.
Into a canal, and it was fished out years later by
Years later, someone found it, sold it on eBay.
Yeah, for millions.
Well, there's the tragedy comes with former Blankety Blank contestants because Major Tom, who's now a colonel, had to walk 1,000,000 times up and down his driveway to get a promotion.
I think what a lot of people don't realise about what he did was it was actually a community service order, which he spun the right way, because he was caught in a local pub wanking onto the pork pies, and so they didn't want to make it a custodial sentence because I've served in the army, So they said, okay, well, you have to do community service.
I got Kelly Everett to say "bam" on Blankety Blank.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I killed several Chinamen. No, he didn't. He did that. Very clever of the granddaughter to spin that community service into what was an effective money maker for the NHS.
I would walk 1,000,000 miles to get a promotion was, of course, the B-side to the Proclaimers' single 500 miles. I'm going to hand over to Paul for him because I'm going to get another drink.
Oh, I've got a wonderful story about my last holiday, so don't worry.
Goodbye.
So, now it's just me and you. The producer said to me, and I'll abandon that. So I went on holiday to Spain a couple of years back, and I went to a little restaurant off map, and I said I don't want to order what the bloody tourists order. I'd like something that you lot like to eat. I didn't say you lot in that respect, but the waiter, playful fellow, he just said, oh, would you like the special? I said, yes, I would. So he came back with this wonderful, delicately decorated plate of what looked like a local pasta dish, but on top, 2 huge steaming meatballs. And I tucked into them, and I have to say, they were absolutely delicious. And I just said, what was that? Is that just like beef meatballs? And the waiter said to me, no. You ordered the special. That's something that we get from the local. I'm nearly finished, John. This is something that we get from the local bullfighting arena. Unfortunately, when the bull dies, its testicles are often served up as food. And I was like, oh my God, is that what I ate? I actually ate 2 bull's testicles. And he went, yes, I'm afraid you did. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not in Rome anymore. I was in Spain. And I just went, well, that was a wonderful meal. Thank you very much. Now, fast forward a year, I went back to the same place, back to the same restaurant. I recognized the waiter straight away. And I said, I'm going to have your special. And I was so expecting a wonderful meal. And they put the plate in front of me. And there were these 2 tiny little balls of meat. And I just thought, oh, no, what's happened? Everyone's found out about my special place. They pumped up the prices. They've reduced their ingredients, and I'm being had. And I turned to the waiter and I said, no, listen, last year I was here and I had these 2 huge steaming balls from the bullfight, and this year I've got these tiny little fucking things. Oh, come on, I'm being hoodwinked, aren't I? And he went, no, my friend, no. We still get them from the bullfighting arena, but sometimes the matador doesn't always win.
Nice.
Anyway, you're back. How was your break?
I was good. I went and got some beer from the fridge. You reminded me of that scene in Top Secret where she orders the food on his behalf, and it turns up it's
your steaming hog balls.
Hog balls, that's right.
My favorite. It's really hard to get a favorite in Top Secret, but I think that's in the same segment where they both have that serious talk, but with the dance, where they both break into a
joke that Zucker's copied and used again in Naked Gun 2.
Oh, right.
When Frank reconnects with Jane at the dance, they do the silly dancing and everyone. But I mean, there's the Smirchpod Patreon special out there if anyone wants to listen to it. I interviewed the Torch from Top Secret.
You did?
Lots of stories about Val Kilmer.
Being an absolute shit.
He was all right. He was going out with Cher.
Wow.
Oh.
He wasn't an absolute shit at that point because he just started.
No. Yeah.
But then
he was
an
annoying.
Absolute shit.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, but then became a total cunt, apparently.
Well, now he's very poorly, bless him.
Oh no, what's he got?
He's had throat cancer. So when
AIDS of the arse. What?
He's had throat cancer, so now he can't speak properly.
Oh shit, no. I'm probably going to get that. So
AIDS of the arseholes. That sounds like underneath the arches. AIDS of the arseholes.
It used to be a running joke with Dan Mersh where it was.
Oh yeah, you're better friends. Yeah, go on.
Oh no, it was just the end of a it was the end of a like a Christmas hymn that had gone wrong. AIDS of the arsehole. And that somehow perked everyone up around the Christmas dinner. During Victorian times, which was before.
It sounds like Underneath the Arches by Flanagan and Allen.
Yeah, underneath the arseholes, getting a bit of AIDS. Hang on, that's horrible. We shouldn't be going down this route because none of this is
acceptable.
None of this is remotely acceptable. So, comments
say, can we take a moment to recognise Dan Thomas's Welsh writer's room in the recent Smash Pod? I don't even remember crashing my car. Yeah, it was very funny. He was very good. I don't know if you heard it, Paul, but what we were saying is that the Avengers movie that was made in 1998 is full of English cliches like tea and everything. And Dan's theory was it was written by Welshmen who hated the English, so they wanted to make them look bad. It's very funny. And Dan's very funny. If you're watching, Dan, you're very funny. For a Welshman,
you are.
For a Welsh person.
Is that a good film, The Avengers?
No. I thought Val Kilmer was a myth. No, he's a mister.
Oh, well done there.
That is care of the Muppet movie from 1979. There. Every time someone says, there's a running joke in that film where they say, you can't talk to that guy talking about Kermit. He'll give you what is it the toads give you? Warts.
Short shrift.
Warts. They say don't talk to him, he'll give you a wart. And then Kermit says, no, that's a myth. And someone says, what? And he goes, myth. And Carol Kane pops up and goes, yes.
Oh.
It's a lovely joke that runs all the way through the film. All the way through the film.
That's lovely. It's the Muppet Show with a very special guest, Paul Pott. Yay!
The first two Muppet movies, Muppet movie and Caper, are very close to my heart.
I as a kid had a jigsaw puzzle of the when they go, this is what we call the Muppet, when you had all of them in their arches. Yeah. And I was obsessed with that jigsaw as a kid.
I
loved it so much.
They did a record of covers, and I had that and played it to death when I was a kid. And it had Scooter singing Simon Smith and his Dancing Bear with Fozzie.
Wow.
On it, which is a great song.
And I went to
I didn't know it was a real song. Sorry.
I went to drama school with a girl who was literally in the background walking with her family on holiday during Muppets Take Manhattan. So she wasn't an extra, she just happened to be there.
Oh, this is a good one. Is there a better running joke in a movie than everyone corrects the name Foyt and Cannonball Run? I don't know, there might be better.
It's Cannonball Run 2.
1.
Oh, 1. So yeah, it's Foyt. Sorry, 2. I watched Cannonball Run 2 last week. It was on ITV4.
Yes, you told me, but I was busy watching David Copperfield, which is very
good. It's awful, but I watched it.
Oh, yeah, but no,
watched it again.
That running joke in the first film always makes me laugh. That and the running joke about Farrah Fawcett's "Sometimes I Want to Lie Under a Tree" with the.
No, it's the.
No, but when she does the tree thing, it's. Yeah, because the joke is no one ever lets her finish, and then Bert lets her finish, and what she's saying is she wants to fuck someone under a tree, because then she says we'd both be bawling. And Bert's like, what? But no one lets her finish it. It's a good running joke. The Muppet version of Time in a Bottle is fucking amazing. Everything the Muppets do was amazing. Sorry. I can't watch it now because they had someone doing Kermit thing is, when Jim Henson was involved, you had the spirit of Henson in it. And when he left, they had someone who sounded like him, but no one behaved like the Muppets, But now they've kicked that guy out because apparently he was a cunt. And they've got somebody else doing Kermit's voice. It doesn't sound like Kermit, so it's a bit. And
they're now doing a new Labyrinth film, apparently.
A sequel, yes.
Yeah. So
Rangoon, Jackie Lamb is a running.
Are they still? I mean, they have to do it with puppets. If they do it all CGI, then
I'd imagine they will because of how well Dark Crystal went down.
Point. I mean,
but when they brought Dark Crystal back, it was just as the film, and it went down very well, didn't it? So.
Yes,
I think Labyrinth 2 is for Netflix as well, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I watched the Dark Crystal sequel, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Vincent Price singing "You Got a Friend of the Muppets" is bliss. The Muppet Show. I wrote this farty article about Peter Sellers once, and I quoted the Muppet Show in that because it was the only quote Peter Sellers gave about himself. That now my fucking drunk brain has forgotten it. Please say in the comments. When Peter Sellers was on the Muppet Show, he says, I think he says something like, when I'm me, I'm not oh God, please someone tell me. But it's a brilliant quote, but he was saying it for fun, but it just summed up his entire personality.
Oh, he just revealed himself without meaning to.
Yeah.
I don't know who I am until I put on a pair of glasses.
Something like that. It's something about how I don't act. I'm not an actor or whatever. Please, someone tell me.
It's a kid show, and I don't know who I am. Oh, okay. Well, let's just.
Well, there's a famous Muppet episode where the host is Chris Langham. Do you know about that one?
Yes, I do know about that one.
It was where Richard Pryor was booked.
Yes.
He set fire to himself freebasing crack. So they needed a very last-minute replacement. So Chris Langham, who was a writer on the Muppets, stepped in.
That's amazing. Because everyone was going, who? Who's he?
And it works though, because that's the joke all the way through the episode where everybody's saying,
yeah.
He
used to do an amazing act where he used to pretend he was an owl, and he used to put a cloak on and just put his fingers out and just dance along a thing, and it was incredible.
He's originally not the 9 o'clock news, of course.
Yeah, and it all went really. And he used to be on Q, Spike Milligan's Q.
Here we go. There's the quote.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That is it. I wrote an article about Sellers. I wrote 3 pieces about him, about his rise and then his success and then his fall. And I used that as the basis for the whole thing about how it was. It's funny that it was in the Muppet Show that he gave his most poignant quote.
Wow.
What a wanker I am.
Well,
you know what? I think we're at 10:32. I think it's time for another round of Super Match Game, don't you?
I think so.
Here we go.
Avanti, ladies and gentlemen. It's old Tell. He's come back down from old Cloud 9, which, between you and me, smells a bit like Cloud 7. But here I am to play another game of the old Super Match. Now, the first person to type in at speed, and hopefully not in Comic Sans, but in old trusted Times New Roman, if you pop in the words Wogan's Wobbly Lollipop, that gives you a lot of consonants to deal with, gets the first person to play the Super Match game. Now, the legend, of course. Let's reveal it now. The legend. Now, this is very easy. The legend is Hill. Hill blank. Hill blank. Now, John, you tell me who's the first person to type in said moniker, and we'll play this game, and we'll play it hard.
It's Matt Crow, Terry.
It's Matt Crow as I live and breathe with his old little kiddie's avatar there. Wonderful. Like he was like the sort of 18th member of Peanuts who never featured.
Pigpen's older brother, yeah.
Fantastic. Now, John, who are you today? You're John...
I'm John Gilgood.
John Gilgood. I suppose you want me to wash your dick for you, you filthy little shit. John Gilgood as I live and breathe. You've joined me back here on old Planet E. as we like to call it, from old heaven. How's heaven been treating you, John G?
It's been wonderful, Terry. Wonderful.
Yes. Have you spent most of your time up in the God's given paradise, festooned with the old cock?
Oh, Terry, I've had a mouthful, a handful, and a lot of other fulls.
You must be beating the old cocks off with a shitty stick. And that's
You would
and
not
tell you what,
believe. No, seriously, you would not believe.
wouldn't believe.
Wouldn't
Wouldn't.
believe it. Wouldn't
Well,
believe
I did read the old Heaven newsletter, and you did write quite a heavy article on said
Terry,
cock problem.
Terry,
I believe they're removing cocks.
Terry, I'm being serious.
Oh,
You wouldn't believe how many.
wouldn't believe it. Oh well. Remind me not to go around to your place for cocktails.
You wouldn't believe it.
Now,
Hmm.
it is oh God, I nearly revealed the top answer.
Oh, God, that would have been a scandal at the quiz.
That would have been an absolute scandal.
Hmm.
So it's Hill Blank. So John Gielgud, well-known thespian,
Yeah.
and he did a lot of things either under, over, or near a hill. What's your answer? Hill Blank.
Hill Manimp.
Great. Hill Manip.
No, sorry, I'll change that. Hilltop.
Oh.
Hilltop.
Hilltop.
I got confused. I was thinking about acting.
Hilltop there. Well, old Terry's going to go down quite a familiar route, and I tell you what, whoever is playing, you can choose when you're on. Old Terry's going to go for Hillside, so you can go with John's top, or Wogan's side. I know what I prefer. Or you can come up with one of your own. Let's have your answer.
Fun.
Killed a lot of people. Come
on, Matt, where are you?
Police will never catch me. Buried them under the hill. Have we got an answer there? It's Hill Blank.
Not yet from Matt, no. And Matt,
dear.
there are lots of comments, so if you have answered, you have to do it again. I can't see it though.
Well, let's hear some of the answers. What do the old friends of JP think the answer could be?
Sarah says Hill Cupboard.
Hill Cupboard, of course.
Here we go. We got an answer from Matt. Matt says Hillman's mayonnaise.
Now you see, Matt, you've stumbled onto the old cul-de-sac of wrong there by introducing two separate words as your answer. It can only be one. So I tell you what, we can give you a chance to come up with another one, or like a prick, you can stick.
So Matt, it's up to you. Wayne says Hill Toupee.
Hill Toupee.
Which is a double joke, I think, isn't it? Hill Toupee, Hill Toupee. I've done it 12 twice. What was the other one, Matt? Because I haven't found the other one.
Well, if he wants to go for old Hillman's mayonnaise, there's nothing stopping him. But I tell you what,
let me just check to be fair. That oh, here we go. Hill. Oh no, that's not Matt. Sorry.
No, that's someone else there.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry.
Go along now.
I'm looking. I can't see another one from you, Matt. Sorry, I've gone way back.
Well, we're going to go for Hillman's mayonnaise, and I tell you what, mayonnaise. You haven't got a hope in hell.
Hill Seedling.
Hill Seedling. Hill Seedling. I tell you what, you haven't got a fucking chance. But I tell you what, we'll play just for the sport of it. For 50 blanks, it was, of course, Hill. Ah, yes, of course. Very obvious. It was on the tip of all our tongues. It was, of course, Hill wine.
Wine.
You know, wine that's made on a hill. But for 100 blanks, Hill Bureau.
Oh, Bureau.
Hill Bureau. When you have to go up to the old government.
Bureau on the hill. Yeah.
Cut through the old red tape. The old government office is on a hill. It's very obvious when you think about it. But the most popular answer, and now old Tell's revealed, thanks, Eugene. It's so obvious. The top answer, everyone said it, was, of course, Hill Chemicals.
Sorry, Matt.
Hill Chemicals there.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry, before I go,
Yes.
can I just tell you that we're all a big fan of you upstairs?
Oh, thank you very much. I tell you what, I'm quite a big fan of all of you downstairs.
That's lovely to hear. Thank you.
Now, listen, I've got to go now because old Tell's on the 19th hole playing crazy golf with none other than Dave Allen and Alan Dave. Wow. Well, no winners again on Supermatch, which is weird because they get easier every week.
They really fucking do. Yeah.
They really do. I don't. What's wrong with you people?
I honestly don't know.
I
think we need a new audience. I'm only joking, lads. I can move my microphone up and down like a radio DJ. Like, hey, what's the deal with canned food? No, I'm only joking, lads. It's great to have you here.
You're proper professional. You've got a moving mic. You've got like a ring of light.
No, the light's dead, but yeah, I've got a moving mic.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I'm a podcaster, Paul. I have to have equipment.
This is like Good Morning Vietnam.
Good evening, YouTube.
Good morning, East Ham.
What's the 04? Oh my God, it's 10:41. That's my
brilliant. Now, comments. Let's shoot the shit.
We are loyal, you bastards. You are. You're lovely. Every week.
No, you're amazing. All of you are.
Fucking Instagram influencer. That mic reminds me of Don Brennan. Who is Don Brennan?
Don't know.
John is definitely less pissed this week than ever before. That's true. Although I do feel quite pissed, but maybe it's because it's organic.
Oh my God, it's organic, so you don't get it. Oh, that's amazing.
Organic.
It was so cool. Like a few days ago, me and my friends went out and we got beaten up, but it was organic.
Oh my God. I was thinking
the bruises were so organic that I started to just grow hemp out of them.
You know what this country needs, don't you?
Some form of leadership.
No. Well, you know when there were witches.
Yeah, burn them.
We had Vincent Price doing the Witchfinder General.
Yes, and he appeared on Roger Prentice, the Apprentice Dentist.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Have you seen that advert he does for the camera?
Yeah,
fucking amazing. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
And he's on an episode of Ted Rogers 321.
Vincent Price.
Oh, sorry, no, I made that up.
Oh. Okay, well, I was thinking that what this country needs, because of everybody's fear of social distancing and everything.
Yes.
What we need is a social distancing finder general who can walk around parks and say, "You are not 2 meters away," and it'll be voiced by Ian McKellen. "You are not 2 meters away. You must distance socially.
We're the future Charles, not them."
Is that what they say?
That's some X-Men. I love that. We're the future Charles.
I was doing X2.
John, you're not king of impressions at the best of times.
No. Do
X. The one that you're really proud of. Go.
Do X1. Go on.
We're the future Charles, not them.
Is that what they say? Can
you do X-Men 3?
No, I can't remember anything about X-Men 3. It was terrible.
Take that cock off my eyebrows.
I'm not a mutant anymore.
Hang on, put the cock back.
Yeah, I think we need a social distancing general who can be seen to be a voice of authority, much the same way in cinemas we need a cinema general who can walk around and say, "Shut the fuck up."
Now, have you been to any said areas since the easing, apart from supermarkets? Have you? No, nor have I. I've not been to a pub. I've not been to a cinema.
I've been dogging, but that was observed socially.
Well, that's really well socially distanced, isn't it? Because you haven't met anyone in
They
a
were half,
9 mile radius for
they were
4 years.
half a mile down the road. It was very,
Yeah.
very respectful. Mm. We did it via semaphore.
Yeah, you got a text message from your dogging group going, I put the tip of my penis in a jar of alioli. Is anyone around?
Hold up the flag.
No one responded.
Where did you go back to the cinema when they reopened? I was tempted because my local one has reopened and they've sent me loads of emails saying about how they are socially distancing. Well, basically, you know how everything on lockdown seems draconian, but when they say, when we deliver parcels, we're just going to leave them on the doorstep and walk off, I'm like, I like that. And then they're like, when you deliver anything from Deliveroo, we're going to leave it on the doorstep and walk away. And I'm like, no problem with
there
that.
are some parts of social distancing that have been absolutely stunning. In other words, no small talk with postmen and delivery guys and takeaway guys.
Yeah.
No having to tip them, even though I always like my thinking, my partner's always like, well, when they come and they always give them a tip, always give them a pound tip to say thank you, which I now just don't do. It's brilliant.
Yeah. But my local cinema said if you book a seat at the cinema, all the seats around you are also booked out. I just thought there isn't really a downside to that, you know, because my local cinema are showing The Empire Strikes Back tomorrow night. I'm not going to go because it's going to be a shitty Blu-ray special edition version, and I don't really want to see it.
Yeah, but big screen and Empire
I know, and I was tempted, but then they were like, and they said, you know, when you book this seat, all the seats around you are booked out as well. And I thought, again, there's no real downside apart from the fact that I'm not seeing people I'd like to see. Like, for instance, it would be great if, like, I could go and meet you in London and we could go and do stuff.
Oh,
but if you were to say to me, you're going to get your food delivered, they're going to leave it on the doorstep. You're going to get parcels left on the doorstep. You're going to have zero interaction with people. And when you go to the cinema, you're going to get 4 seats booked out for 1. 5 seats, actually. I mean, that sounds great.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, weirdly, I don't mind a really empty cinema. Some of my favorite movie moments have been actually when no one is fucking watching.
Oh, yeah. I went to see that film Ronin. It was just me and my mate in the whole cinema. It was great. Oh, Katie says she has to shield till August. Oh, sorry, Katie. Is it because you've had medical problems? Oh, Paul's gone again. Look. Katie, I wasn't being facetious. I know that you've had an operation to have an extra leg fitted. Paul's gone again. So while Paul's gone, please send me your questions. Or you could look at Paul looking like, oh, he's gone now. He had a funny face on. The Star Wars showings are apparently the proper HDR screenings, which have been released by just... Yeah, but someone told me the other day who knows a lot that the Disney Plus versions are in 4K and the ones that are being screened in cinemas are not. So I might not bother. I was the only person in the cinema watched The Abyss. The Abyss is a fucking great film. And I would pay good money to be the only person in the cinema watching that. I prefer going to cinema when it's quiet. I saw Nightcrawler. I saw what was it? I think I might have seen Fury Road in a mildly empty cinema. That was one of the greatest cinema experiences of my life. It was an IMAX as well, so that was awesome. What obscure Britpop bands do you like? Kingmaker. Kingmaker were my favourite band when I was growing up. They weren't necessarily Britpop, but Queen, Jane, and 10 Years of Sleep were quite big sort of Britpoppy singles. They have got a big box set coming out at the end of this month. And I'm hoping, I'm waiting to hear, we're hoping to do something, because I'm in touch with the drummer and the bass player, hoping to do something like this, but was to do with their album launch. I hope. He liked Sherbet. Everyone liked Sherbet. It was without the R. It was Sherbet. Everyone liked Sherbet. We were awesome. Menswear. They were all right. I loved Kingmaker. Hey! They were awesome. Well, they've got a big box set. I don't know if you know. It's on Cherry Red Records. It's coming out at the end of this month. It's like everything they ever did. It looks fucking great. It's not, or is it Eat Yourself Whole? I can't remember, but it's a lot of great stuff. And I need to email John, the drummer, actually, because we were talking about doing something like this, like an interview with me, John, and Miles, the bass player. Loz sadly is not available. He doesn't want to do anything anymore. Sadly. Echo Belly, yes, they were very good. Were Salad Britpop? Yeah, of course they were. They had a song about Kent. That was fun. I saw Menswear. Good. Saw Empire tonight, and it wasn't 4K. It was 2K. Yeah, someone who knows a lot about Star Wars is ridiculously mental about it. Told me that the cinema screenings are not the Disney Plus have got 4K, and the cinema haven't. He's back.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening here, but
That's all right. We've only got 10 minutes left.
Oh yeah. So you were talking about cinema.
Yes, about the Empire Strikes Back, about how boringly about how the 40th anniversary screenings aren't the 4K ones that are on Disney Plus. So there's no real point going to them, really.
Now, wasn't there today someone left a posit about like a really old fucking movie that was on today on Talking Pictures? The Sherlock Holmes one with oh my god, with Ken Williams.
The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yeah, the Hound of the Baskervilles was on Talking Pictures earlier.
Yeah. That is a fucking strange film.
Yeah, it's a mad curate's egg. It's a bit like The Wrong Box. I don't really know if I like it or not, but I know that it's old and it's got everyone that I love in it, and therefore I have to watch it.
It's full of really old jokes, even to the point where they repeat the auditioning for Tarzan gag.
Yes, yeah. And Ken does really old material in it.
Well, the clip someone posted today was about did you drag yourself up on deck?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I just dressed formally. And that's a really old joke.
But there's an amazing bit where they all go and stay in Irene Handel's B&B, and it's all flooded, and they sort of just deal with it.
And Dana Elliott having the dog that constantly pissing in Dudley Moore's face.
Yes.
It's not a great film. It's one of those films. It's like Peter Cook went, right, I've got this great idea, and I'm going to play Sherlock Holmes as Fagin from Oliver, basically. I'm going to do this overtly, offensively Dickensian Jewish voice. And then within 5 minutes, you're like, that's really annoying. You're going to do that for the whole film.
Yeah. Well, Peter Cook was never good in any film apart from Bedazzled.
That is a fact.
And maybe in Bed Sitting Room, but apart from that,
The Wrong Box. The Wrong Box is quite good.
He's all right, but the
bit where he goes to see Peter Sellers is very funny.
Dr. Pratt.
Dr. Pratt and his cats.
I like the way because Dr. Pratt has the power of attorney to put the rubber stamp on shit, and he seals his rubber stamp with a moggy.
With a moggy, yeah, to make sure it doesn't smudge. But yeah, you're right. I mean, he's in Supergirl. He's in Without a Clue, but he's not really doing anything there.
No.
And and that's a really odd film. I don't know how that came about, and I don't know why Dudley Moore did it either. Because at that point they hated each other pretty much, didn't they?
So was Dudley on the cusp of?
Yeah, this was just before 10.
Yeah, just before 10. All right, so he hadn't quite got there. So this was his last.
The point where Peter Cook was like, because someone posted today, there's a Sherlock Holmes sketch they did when they did an ITV show, where it was Sherlock Holmes constantly saying to Watson, "Who is it? Who is it? Who did it?" and being really angry. Which is a funnier conceit than him being like Fagin for the whole film.
Okay.
It's weird. It's a really weird film. Terry Thomas is in it, and he doesn't look well because he's basically just got Parkinson's, so he doesn't look well.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I do have it on. I have it on DVD. It's films like that. Frankie Howard's House in Nightmare Park.
Yeah.
The Wrong Box.
Sherlock Holmes' Smart Brother.
Oh no, that's pure genius.
Yeah. I just mean in terms of like films people don't really remember very well. Or...
In Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother, Marty Feldman has photographic hearing. So every time he needs to record, he just goes boom, and then, oh, hello, Officer Lala, how are you today? How was that bird? No, fast forward, please, Inspector.
He's like, Your brother sent me here today because.
It's amazing. And Leo McKern as Moriarty going.
When are you guys doing Sherlock Holmes in New York? You know what? I'll tell you an exclusive. It's already done, but not with Paul.
Oh, who was it done with?
I did it with Stephen Graham, Plop Gazette on Twitter.
Jesus.
Because he's a bit of a Holmes head, and it's Roger Moore as Sherlock Holmes and Patrick McNee as Watson.
Wow.
Not a very good film.
Is this pre-View to a Kill or post-pre?
This is an American TV movie from about I think it's just before Moonraker, 1978, something like that.
So when they met for View to a Kill, they'd already done that film together?
Well, Patrick McNee and Roger Moore had known each other since drama school. Someone said something nice about us earlier, and I'm trying to find it. Tales the Unexpected was the highlight tonight. That's thanks to Paul.
Oh, thanks, Tim. Well, that what we all need to know about Mark. I've got the hiccups now.
No, Mark was your tune.
Oh, sorry.
Tales the Unexpected was our terrifying tales of unexpectedness.
They were. I tell you what. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
No. It was terrifying. Neil Buchanan would be a great. Neil Buchanan sadly died of an heart attack, so he won't be available.
He would be good.
Why don't we all drink some very sexy wine?
Dom DeLuise.
Oh,
hiccups.
Well, luckily we're away from you in 4 minutes. Oh, look, Matt Crow is with us.
Why don't we drink some very sexy wine?
If you haven't seen Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother.
Oh, you must. Because you can also do the kangaroo hop.
Hop. It's Madeline Kahn,
do the kangaroo
hop. Marty Feldman, Dom DeLuise, John LeMessurier, Leo McKern, Roy Kinnear. Fucking brilliant.
It's amazing. And you get to hop. Come and do the kangaroo hop. That's the very place for you. If you're over 18, you can waltz a little while. Hopping in the corner is a very latest style.
Hop. That and
come and do the kangaroo. You'll never ever want to stop.
Oh, nice one, Dan. Neil Buchanan, who died. Damn. Very good. Also, in Haunted Honeymoon, there's a nice little dance number, isn't there? There's
and that's what we call balling the cat.
I like Haunted Honeymoon. That was one of the first reasons I knew that you were a very good friend, is because you once said to me, Haunted Honeymoon's a really good film. And I was like, it is actually. It's rubbish. It's also quite fun.
I mean, it's rubbish. But the word rubbish is bandied around a lot. I like rubbish films if they're made in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And then I don't like rubbish films if they're made in the 90s and nowadays. Yeah, I know. And she's great in it. The ending is beyond appalling because they abandon the whole film and you find out it's just a radio show.
Oh shit! You're right.
And that's exactly what Dom DeLuise says. He goes, "Oh shit!"
But then you see that man walk away at the end, and he's a werewolf.
No, you have the werewolf turn around and go, "Ha ha 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 ha!" But you go, "No, you've already."
You're quite right. Yeah, that's annoying me now in memory.
Yeah, I hated the ending so much. But those sort of films, that Clue, Murder by Death.
Good question.
Oh, favorite Mel Brooks film? I'm not going to go with all the. Yeah. I mean, obviously the producers and obviously Young Frankenstein loves it. But my genuine favorite for just endless laughs is actually The History of the World Part 1, which not a lot of people have seen. But I absolutely adore it because there's little portmanteau individual tales. It's got so many stunning jokes.
I think I'd agree with you, actually.
It starts off in Roman times, and there's a sign just saying Roman orgy, first come, first served.
There's the whole slave selling sequence, which is quite fun.
There's a slave selling. You got Madeline Kahn choosing which slave that she's going to keep in her harem of men, according to by the size of their cocks, and she does it in a musical rhyme, which is, Yes, 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 no. Yes, yes, no, 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 yes, 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 yes.
Dan agrees. It's the history of the world.
Yeah, and then she tells the sedan drivers who are carrying her, will you please march left, right at the same time? My tits are falling off.
Oh, mind you, Young
And
Frankenstein.
Dom DeLuise as Nero pulls a duck out of his ass and goes, watch this.
You know what? I might change my mind just purely because of the Gene Hackman scene in Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant.
Mm.
But History of the World also then has the French Revolution. It has Spike Milligan in jail.
And Dan Thomas says the Inquisition musical number.
The Inquisition done with synchronized swimmers is amazing. But the French during the French Revolution.
Oh God, yeah, the John Hurt as Jesus with the Michelangelo. That is such a fucking amazing scene.
It's got so many. Even in the French Revolution, you've got Andrew Sachs, which is amazing, and also Bella Emberg. And at the beginning, they're going, "We are so poor, we cannot even afford our own accent." And they plan the French Revolution. And at the end, they go, "Let us end this meeting on a high note," and everyone goes, "Ah!"
Can you please, before we go, do the joke from Dracula Dead and Loving It at the beginning? With the scene where the guy says,
"This is also possibly all my favorite Mel Brooks stuff are the stuff that is like it's not Young Frankenstein, it's not." And I've got the box set. I've got all of them. I've got 12 Chairs. I've got all of them. I've got High Anxiety because I love them. But my favorites are not his most popular films. And Dracula, hiccups. Dracula Dead and Loving It is unremittingly shit, apart from one scene with Renfield turning up to Transylvania. And the guy who plays Renfield is someone Nichols. He's the bad guy in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he plays the guy who gets possessed in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so he turns up in a carriage, and the carriage pulls in to the town of Transylvania, and overlooking the town is the massive castle. And he winds down a window, and he just says, "I wonder if you could all help me. I'm en route." No, he doesn't say that. I'm pissed already. He says, "I'm on schedule to meet Count Dracula." So I'm hiccuping too much. I'm going to breathe a bit.
Yeah.
John Nichols turns up in a carriage into the village, big fucking castle. Winds down a window, looks at the population and says, "I wonder if you could help me. I'm on schedule to meet Count Dracula." Then there's a close-up of several villagers. Boom, boom, boom. First one, Dracula. Next one, Dracula. Third one, Dracula. Fourth one, schedule. And that's the best joke I've ever seen in a film.
Amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
It's my funniest movie gag. There is nothing funnier than that.
Yep. And on that note,
with technical difficulties, I've got hiccups. We've got a good night's sleep, John, because we've got to do some wheezing, groaning tomorrow.
We have at 2:00.
Jesus.
It never ends, does it?
No, it's just never-ending slog for no money.
I know. Never-ending slog.
Oh, look! It's a fuck you dragon. La 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 la.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I will say on behalf of both of us, because Paul's mildly hiccuping, I will say good night. Thank you. We love you so much, and we'd like to say good night to each and every one of you.
We would, and live long and see you next week, probably.
In the style of Les Dennis and Justin D. G, bless him. We'd like to say good night to each and every one of you. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night.